Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of AskWoodford. This is going to be short, sharp, concise, just like everything I do. The best of the best. The number one, Kieran's laughing behind the camera. As always, I want to say Donnie for his production. Boozy Otis Productions, the best in the game. The fucking number one, Boozy Otis. Kieran, hit me. Sorry, but Buzz Creative. Do you have a website now if you want to go? You want to check it out? Check out Buzz Creative.
Like, if you're going to promote someone, get it right.
Well, at least I'm promoting. I'm trying to help him out because I love him. And it's not like he needed the work anyway. Fuck. Anyway, AskWoodford, what episode is this? This is old school AskWoodford. What episode? As always, Donnie, Kieran talking the absolute shit with their questions and me answering them. The best in the fucking game. Let's go. Let's do it. Kieran Roadley, question one.
What are your thoughts on the AFLW in regards to the number of ACLs they suffer?
Mate, you're gonna have so many snippets from this shit.
Wait. One ACL every round, apparently.
Yeah, I know who asked that question. Good question. Okay, so AFLW. Where do I begin? Okay, so first of all, let's just stop. Have a think. With AFLW, does everyone think the whole competition was rushed? Do you think the talent was spread thin? Do you think that the girls playing at this level are all prepared properly in terms of conditioning level, in terms of hardness, in terms of building that layering of pre-seasons in their bodies to handle the loads needed to perform and reduce chance of injury? What do you guys think? Most people would say no. If you look at their body types as well, no offense. Once again, I know people would be like, oh, you can't say this. Well, I say what the fuck I want, really, because you know what's funny about me is I say it how it is, and it's true. Now, I'm going to say it in the most respectful way possible that I can. Say usually like that, Kieran. But at the end of the day, if you want to be a professional sports person, and I saw an article about this Essendon player, right? And her name is Maddie Prespakis, I think. And this is nothing against Maddie, but if you listen to this, I have nothing against you, Dale. But you can't have it both ways. This is another thing which the AFLW girls can't understand. They want equal pay. They want all this pay, but they're not willing to cop the criticism that comes with equal pay, which you have pressure on yourself, right? So this is nothing against her. What she was saying was she was copping a lot of shit from people who were calling her bad names about her weight and she's calling her overweight, all this. Right? I'm sure they said it less eloquently than I did. But, Maddie, you cannot have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Oh, you like that one, Kieran? And you can't, because first of all, you're saying that you want to be treated like a professional athlete and you want the money to reflect this. I have no issue with that. But that means you have the training standards and the, how do I put it, like the, not consistency, but the adherence, the commitment, the discipline to, put the right foods in your body and do the right type of training and condition yourself at a level where you're going to have performance at a high level, but also everything else that comes with being a professional athlete. That comes with body composition. How much fat you got on your body, lean muscle tissue. All this stuff. This comes with being a professional athlete. Everything. It's not just one thing. But I think she was saying that. It's really hard on me. It's for fuck's sake, cry me a fucking river. Like, mate, fuck me. I get it. I get that, right? But you are not. You are playing football, you're playing professional sport, which is, by the way, AFLW is a professional fucking sport. But they're saying, I'll put it bluntly, right? Let's say the guys, right? Let's say, for example, an AFL player, men's, was that weight, was at that weight, seen as a bigger person or had too much body fat. They would cop it from all angles. And they still cop it for everything, right? But for them, right? That's the normal occurrence. They're a professional athlete. They have to prepare properly. They've got to eat right. They've got to do everything correct. They're professional. They're fine with it. They have to deal with that. That's one part. Hey, you all signed up to this. If you cannot, the world has gone fucking soft. And this has all started from years ago when the AFL stopped fucking giving fucking weights for the players. It's fucking incredible. How the fuck do you not allow weights? Like, that, don't you, like their fucking kilos? Like, because out of fear, out of fucking, hurting someone's feelings. This is the whole issue with society, right? Listen, if you're fucking overweight, right, do something about it. Now, if you have a metabolic condition, I understand that. That's an issue. But let's forget about all that. Like, I get that. If there's an underlying condition, I get that. I'm not going to sit here and go, But generally speaking, we live in a world where it's one, people want quick fixes, and two, people too soft or don't want to hear the fucking truth. And most people run away from the fucking truth. And what we are doing, and this goes beyond pro sport, this goes to society, where we are allowing kids to accept mediocrity or be okay with mediocrity out of fear of hurting their fucking feelings. Let me give you an example. If I have a child, a kid, and God fucking help us if I do, because this child will be the best of all time. Joking. But it probably will be, of course. But why, if my kid goes to an athletic meet, for example, right, and comes 8 out of 8, right, and he gets a ribbon because they don't want to hurt his feelings because he came 8th, you know what I say to him? This is serious. 1, and I'm saying he, but it could be a girl. Either way. I would say to him, listen, you came 8th. You shouldn't get a ribbon. You shouldn't get a participation trophy. You should get nothing. You came 8th. You tried your best, I'm sure. You came 8th. Do you know what I'd say to him? Give me the right ribbon, whatever, back to commemorate that, that you weren't good, that you came 8th and everyone deserves a prize. Give me that back. And do you know what he needs to hear? Get better. Work on your deficiencies. If you want to get quicker, do X, put a plan in place. If you want to lose weight, put yourself, hire a proper dietitian, nutritionist to give you the appropriate calories in and out to understand, start understanding about macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, protein, micronutrients to fuel your body. Understand how you can drop your body composition. Understand about proper, instead of fucking, it's okay, you only, this is the issue in society because we're accepting this fucking bullshit, safe space, soft cock approach. And this is permeating to society. And this is the issue. We've got weak fucking men right now who were boys. When they were younger, they were told that everything's going to be all right. You're okay. They've never been told to, fucking get better at something or work hard. Like, let me give you an example. And I know I'm going through, I'm going in tangents, but you guys love this shit. When I rocked up my first day of work as a paperboy at 14 years old, I was 10 minutes late. I think 5. I remember, God bless, what was his name? Frank. Fucking that old fucking motherfucker. Frank, this old bastard, comes out and goes, oi, you, don't be late again, you little c***. And you can think that word. Just think that word. But you it's see you next Tuesday, right? Anyway, I just don't want to put that word up, but just blank that word. Every other word's fine. Anyway, I went back and told my old man, do you know what my old man said? Don't be late again then. So what's that teaching me, guys? Not to be fucking late. If you did that these days, kids would fucking cry going to their parents, and the parents they enable this shit by saying, oh, he did nothing wrong. It's not his fault. He's only late because he decided to be late, and my son deserves to be late. Like, what the fuck is that kind of parenting? Have a hard conversation with people. Sometimes you need to do that because you get better. Sometimes you do. And it is what it is. And this has gone back to the whole thing about AFLW and their preparation. So I go back to Press Barker. So I know I've gone back on this thing, right? She's whinging about fucking her weight and people giving her shit. Well, fucking so what? You play professional sport. You can't have one without the other in terms of you can't want all the money and all the fucking good things, but without the bad things. That's life, Matty. That's how it is. If you do have an issue with it, here's the thought process. And this is nothing against you once again, but maybe drop some weight, get in a condition that's at a high level in a professional sporting person. And you might turn around and people are going to turn around and say, I'm a fuckwit. Fair enough. You can say what the fuck you want, but I'm right. You play professional sport, move on from it. And by the way, I don't think she's that big either. But if she's whingy about it, she's obviously insecure about it. And then all the girls, we've got different body types. So, yeah, you do have different body types. But if that was the men, they'd cop all the shit. But you can't have all the good without the bad. It's just life. So just get better. It's fucking, just be a professional sports person. But don't whinge about it. And also don't give them fucking any ear about it. Anyway, the whole article's poor me. Well, fucking move on from it anyway. So that's one point. The point you actually brought up was about ACL. So after the issue with the AFLW, they expanded the competition too soon. No one in the AFL wants to say it. They've condensed the fixturing this year, which has made it even worse because most of these girls aren't trained highly enough and haven't built enough load in terms of pre-season layering to develop these to handle this level of not only handle this level of competition really, but also handle the amount of games they go through. Like something like three games in X amount of time is just ridiculous. So they've got so much accumulated fatigue or residual fatigue built up. And that's why they're getting injuries as well. But also the fact that most of these girls haven't been brought up playing this game. Now, the generation coming through now have, but not this generation. So there's issues with that as well, just their spatial, their game awareness, they're having, understanding the sport, inside out how to read the play and all this stuff, and put them in better positions. But my big thing about talking about ACLs, non-contact ACLs with AFLW players is just the resource they get isn't that high. In terms of what I mean by that is they'll get they can't pay, the AFL not paying good enough money. I mean, the high performance guys probably on like girl or guy's probably on like 30K, 40K, not even. And the rest are on fuck all. Mate, who the fuck's going to do it for that? Anyone could. Who the fuck? And this is what people don't get. People always thought, if you're working pro sport, you must be so good at your job. But it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm not saying there's not good practitioners. There are. But what's happening now is the fact that the gloss has gone off all these pro sports, the gloss. Because who the fuck wants to work for fucking 80K for 80-hour weeks? Or because you can tell everyone that you're working the AFL. Even the AFLW is even lower than AFL for most people for their career. They want to work AFL, I'm guessing. Well, most of them do. But then people don't care anymore. So they can't get anyone decent, in my opinion. And especially at AFLW. And there probably are some good practitioners, but what I've seen so far is fucking terrible. So, and there's no emphasis on, in the AFL, there's such a big emphasis on objective sports science, quantitative data that means fuck all, but it's really good to justify your job. You know, you're using that data for the actual betterment of the program, but there's no focus on athletic development in terms of strength, power, speed. And if it is, it's just get the weight up, or all about external load and about a GPS number. They're hitting their max V, hitting high-speed exposure, tick that box, but nothing about the art of being a coach, the subjective view of being a coach, about the shape and position, which dictate joint angle, body position, which dictates muscle recruitment, which dictates neurological recruitment rates. Like, how are you making them more efficient? We're not. We're looking at a number and just throwing shit at them, hoping to fucking get better. It's not good enough. And that's why injuries occur as well. But I think there's multiple factors. I think they've expanded the competition way too soon. The girls haven't grown up with it. The preparations, they haven't laid the pre-seasons over time. The sports science integration, physical preparation, the football program's not good enough. Not enough money in it. So many factors. Probably anthropometrics a little bit. Can't do anything about that. Their body type and shit. And that's the reason why. Do I have I watched AFLW? Fuck no. No, I don't. Do I? The reason why I don't want... But that's my personal opinion. You know, the only time I watch AFLW is when the girls which we train come here. I just watch that for them when I watch them play. But other than that, no, why the fuck would I don't give a fuck about it? I don't even watch AFL anymore. I don't really give a fuck about that either. I just watch my guys. I mean, I'm kind of done with the whole thing, man. I think once it became a woke organisation, I was fucking done with it. I do not give a fuck like this. You know, with AFL, it's all about fucking what it looks like, and it's all word fucking vomit, no fucking substance. I just don't give a fuck anymore, really. I'm done with it. I don't really want to watch it. I'll be honest, I'd rather watch this fucking local level. That's why I get involved with local level. So yeah, that's the reason why. Hopefully I answer that question. This is a really good answer though. Fucking, I'm actually, yeah, this is very good. When I'm on, I'm just on. So I just think it was really good. So anyone, Kieran, thought it was good? Good answer? Don't you got a lot out of it? Well, it's not that, but what is annoying is this, the thing that annoys me the most is, and I can't understand, and this is my issue with my industry. I could go on for years about this, so I'm not going to, but people need to start valuing their time and what they, value their fucking... You right there, Donnie? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sneezing is 1/12 of an orgasm. So if you have like 6, that's half an orgasm. Did you guys know that? I know everything. Kieran? No, you didn't. She's just saying that. Okay. Did you actually know that? Fair enough. So I think that going back to my original point was, I just think that the whole idea, where was I going with it? What was I saying? I've kind of lost my train of thought. No, quick, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. They need to take the respect for the, in my profession. But the issue is, man, that the AFL know this, that if this dickhead doesn't take the money, then another dickhead will. That's all I could go on for years, but that's the issue. But my main point I'm trying to say is, with the AFLW, I feel bad for them because they deserve better. Like, they deserve better than what they're getting. Like, the condensed fix is bullshit. What my personal opinion is, they should play before the boys so they at least get a crowd. I mean, they're getting like 700 people. Look at the scheduling anyway. The AFL, listen, once again, the AFL is all about this, no substance. That's just how it is. They just like to do it for the wokeism. The old wokeism. So for me, I don't know. Like, there's multiple factors, and I'm passionate about it because I love what I do, and I look at what we do, what I do as a it's so important to athletes. But in Australia, we don't buy into it as much as we should, or we don't invest in it as much as we should, because clubs say us a dime a dozen. We don't help in terms of our profession. But what we do is so fucking important, because if you keep the best players on the park, the best ability and availability, you win games. So it needs to change, man. Clubs need to start investing in it. They've got the money, but they just don't want to spend it. And also, for us as a profession, we need to stop fucking just doing things for fucking free or no money. It's fucking bullshit. So that's it. You got a lot for that, Donnie, for cutting. Kieran, next question.
How much would you charge your services for a club as their strength and conditioning coach? I'm obviously assuming he's talking about at a local level, because he's like, my club wants me to take on the role next year. but I want to approach them about being financially reimbursed for my time. Obviously, I won't charge as much as you, but it would give me an idea to know what my time is worth.
All right, so I might as well just talk about the elephant in the room just quickly. Might as well get this over and done with. I was going to do it anyway, but fuck, I completely forgot about it. I kind of moved on from it. So obviously my company, myself, we have now we are now with East Brighton. We are East Brighton people now, Kieran. Unfortunately, as much as that, it was hard for us to leave. We love Springvale. We love the club. We've got a lot of time for Springvale. Listen, the hardest thing I did, and it would be good to tag Tom on this, but was to leave Springvale because that man, I've said for years, man, best coach in the SFL, tactically unbelievable. The guy's a Fruit Loop. And I mean that in love because I'm a Fruit Loop. Together, we just created magic. The thing about Tomo is he's just a nice person, just a good human being. He's a Fruit Loop, but a good human being. And he ran that club so fucking well. We know how well, he ran it so well. And it was so hard to tell him. And just telling me, Kieran knows this, my mum knows this. I actually had a panic attack and I started hyperventilating. My mum was there. Out of all people, my mum. And that was the day I apologised to her. We had a good chat and we both apologised to each other. We weren't talking for a while, Mum and I, and that brought us together. And obviously, when I told Tomo, Kieran was in the room and I was really shaking. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't want to leave that club because I create such, I was only there a year and I create, from that year. And I only got involved because it was like an off the cuff thing, really. It was just one, it was like, all right, I'll do it. I remember fucking talking to Tomo three hours about his methods, his game plan, his structure, and what they need and how they feel how far they can go. And then the next day he called me up, he said, you at gym, and he threw me this topic. He goes, I want you involved. And Kieran said, I think it'd be a good thing. And she was right. And I got involved and I've loved all the boys and I loved my time there for a year. We ended up making a final again. Should have won their first final ever. They didn't, so be it. But Tomo, from day one, I walked in, saw his face. And what kind of leader? He's a brilliant leader. Shook my hand. Christian Woodford knew my name. Unbelievable. The guy is on another level, just how he does things. So respect him so much. So it's very hard to leave. But I had to do what was right for the Woodford business. And what happened was I was approached by multiple teams, not just one, multiple teams across a number of leagues. So I had that happening, and it was hard because I really didn't want to leave Springy, but East Brighton was one of the clubs that was really hard to say no to, and I because I had Kai here, I met Mick, and I was close to Mika, Kai, Axe, their general manager, Tom Lamb, one of their better players, and it was just I could sense, and East Brighton where they play and where they train is around the corner from my parents, so I'll be able to see my parents more, go pop in. But the big thing for us, for Kieran and I, was the junior club, which they've got 900 juniors. And we couldn't say no to that. You can't say no to the opportunity of having 900 juniors, the networks they get from East Brighton. And Tomo knew that. And Tomo was great, and the club was great. Scotty, shout out to Scotty. Scotty, Tomo, even Tomo's mum, Sharon, even Doobie. No, but I want to make sure I do this right. No, I want to shout them out. And Coops as well. They're all brilliant to me. So I do thank them, and the playing group. But now I'm East Brighton. I thank Tug to get involved with Tug, and the coaching group, Axe, Doothie as well. So I'm ready to go in this season. So we moved across there. The question was asked about how you can, what you do. My personal opinion is they're not going to offer you much money because most clubs can't. Or some clubs can. The most you'll get offered, in my opinion, would be 20K. And even at 20K is a lot. So my thing is commercial agreements win. If you can have a commercial agreement where what it is my thing is the junior club, because the reason why in the private sector juniors work so well, number one, every parent thinks their kid's going to be the next Dustin Martin or whoever it is, right? Number two, the parents pay, right? The minute they get to the seniors, not saying that the guys don't invest, because some of them do, but you got to remember as well, they've got a job too and all this stuff, and then because they're coming from, this is not state level football, it's still local level, it's still good level football, but most of them won't buy in as much as every player's different, but you got to remember with football, it's only started to permeate the importance of preparation outside of training in the last, say, 5-7 years. It hasn't been big, has it? Other than that, it's just been run. So it's only been getting big over the last few years, so over the last 5 to 7 years. So it's still not there. It's still a while away. So I've always said to Kieran, by the time I'm 50, which I'm 38 now, by the time I'm 50, this whole industry would have it's booming. And I'll probably see the fruits of my labour when I'm 50. But that's okay because I wanted to do this to really evoke change. People don't get, I didn't want to do this. One, obviously I wanted to career for myself, but one of the big reasons why I did this is you guys know, I wanted to develop the industry so more people got paid. So I didn't have to fucking, the thing about, this, any industry is you making it better for the next generation. That's what I really want to do. So, for the education point of it, I think the big thing is the commercial agreement. I mean, Kieran, you can talk on this better than I can, but I think the commercial agreement is the most important part. The club can only give you so much. And what in the grand scheme of things, what's 10 grand? I mean, it's fuck all. But it's still nice, but you're doing a lot of hours there. So I think the commercial agreement is very important. The junior club's very important.
I think, though, that's a little bit different for you, as in because of, like, for you to have you in the gym and have an initial one-on-one client, like, making 10 grand and sending you down there, it's removing your time away from the business where we potentially as a business could make more revenue.
Yep.
And that is why the commercial agreement is so important for us as a business. But yeah, potentially for someone that's, newer in the industry and has been approached by a club, like getting paid like 5 grand as them as an individual could be quite a decent chunk into their yearly revenue. But yeah, I mean, for Woodford as a business, it's definitely the commercial agreement and the opportunities that could potentially come with that.
Well, and also you got to think Brighton, the area. It's an affluent, rich area, right? Think about the parents. Think about and we know for a fact we're being told.
Well, and a lot of those junior kids too, like they go to private schools. Their goal is to get drafted. So like there's that link there too.
Also, the parents, Matty Lloyd. The big. There's some big name parents that. Michael Oakes, my Oaksy, shout out to Oaksy, Elevation Sports Management, my mate, his son's there. I mean, it's just one of those things. It just kind of worked out. As I said, I'm excited to be a part of East Brighton. Preparations start very soon. We start on the 11th, testing on the 11th with the boys, and we get going. So we think we're in the we're in the mix. We're not saying we're anywhere near. Let's be serious. I've got a lot of work to do in terms of building that culture. Well, I know that, but that's okay. And there's training standards and driving those standards. That's what I've liked this challenge. I'm excited for this challenge. But we're in the mix. Once again, Charlton, these top teams. even look at Springer, who they've picked up. My old mate Kyle Martin. From Gun, Sketcher. All these got. Tomo. One thing Tomo said it's when I left Springvale. They're throwing the kitchen sink at it. They are. So Springvale will be up there. Charlton will be up there. They got a new team, Narry Warren coming there. I've heard they throw some stuff at it. Cranbourne, Ange Soldaris is their head coach. Our old mate Ange trained at Woodford, a good Woodford man, head coach at Cranbourne. Who else? Dingley picked up very strong. I'm training Trent Dennis-Lane right now. They're forward. I've trained Caleb Lewis. I've trained Jack Williams, their assistant coach. Sammy Williams, their reserves coach. That's the brother of. Very strong within that. Me old mate Nathan Freeman still there. Barnesy is there. So listen, it's a very good comp next year. So we're in the mix, but we're gonna have to put in the work. So I'm excited for the challenge. I'm at a new club now. Excited for the challenge, both Kieran and I, and making it happen. We've already had a lot of East Brighton boys down here. So to get in the off season, as I say, anything, you got a really good off season will prepare you for a good preseason. A very good preseason prepares you for in-season performance and reducing injury and building those loads. So it's so important because if you fuck this preseason up, this is why year-round training is so important. If you fuck the preseason up, come in season beyond the 8 ball, you're in a fair bit of trouble. So you got to build and you got to train all year round. You might take a month off football, 6 weeks after that. After football, that's fine, no issue. Then you build up again. But you can't just fucking expect to rock up round one and pre-season, not do any work beforehand, and expect to, to maximise your development as a player and reduce chance injury. It doesn't happen. So you have to do work on the outside, and that involves, strength sessions, that involves speed sessions as well. That involves maximising your development as a total footballer. Hopefully that answers your question. One more, and then that will be it.
Well, I just want to add to that question.
Yep.
I think sometimes too, as a coach, you also need to look at things as in not necessarily from a financial gain. So as a coach, are you looking at I'm getting into team sport at a local level, or I have this opportunity because my end goal is to work in pro sport, or my end goal is to be more involved in team sports? So I think that's where too, yes, obviously you want to be paid for your time, but you also need to look at it as what tools am I adding to my toolbox to be the best S&C coach that I can be for my end goal of where I'm working towards as a coach.
That's actually quite good. Fuck, very nice. That's really good.
Yeah,
She's
like
actually right with saying that.
I don't think, like, especially in this industry, everything always has to come down to the dollar value. I think it also should be like, how is it benefiting me as a coach? And what can I gain out of this that can then lead me to this other pathway?
I think that's very true, but I think a big part of people in a rush in general, in a rush to get their perfect career, it's never going to happen like that. But I got it told early on from one of my mentors. He said, be in a rush to be excellent, not successful. So, enjoy the journey because it's a great thing. Don't be in a rush just to, I'm only doing it because I want to get there. Do a really good job where you're at. And I think one thing what young coaches do, they think that they have to go the highest level and get work experience there. But my thing is, if you start the local level, you're actually making decisions. You're not just fucking, and by the way, just so you know, one, AFL teams, or if you go for the AFL, let's say football, give an example. One, they're not going to let you do anything because, apparently, which I find fucking funny, when I was in America, just so you know, college athletes shit on any AFL athlete. College, shit on it. Yep, you can go there readily and coach, and they open their doors. In the AFL, it's a closed shop because it's a boys' club, and they don't want anyone to know their fucking secrets. Oh, what secrets? Oh, shit. Because they're either A, too insecure, or B, they just don't let it happen. When America, completely different, very different how they do things. And that's why I love the American system. Very open. Also, a lot more jobs there, so a lot less insecurity, in my opinion. But at least if you go to the local level, you start making decisions and have to work on developing your art. This is something I am so big on these days. You can have all the knowledge you want in the world. And I keep talking about this, because see success leaves clues. And one thing I see time and time again is if you cannot motivate, you cannot build rapport, you can't communicate in certain words, you can't get the best out of someone, you're no good as a fucking coach. All that knowledge means fuck all. Because, man, at the end of the day, the art of being a coach is so fucking important, in my opinion, more so important than the science. I'm not saying the science is important, but the amount of coaches out there that I meet who are so fucking boring that I could talk. Listen, you don't have to be like me. God forbid you got to be. I don't reckon anyone should be like me, because trust me, I am me. You should be yourself. One thing that annoys me the fucking most is these coaches who get in and they have no personality. They don't train. They look like shit. They don't fucking do what they fucking tell the athlete. How do you get any respect? How do you not build rapport with someone? The ability to be a good coach is the ability to get the most out of someone. Actually give a fuck. Show you care. Spend time with them. Check up on them. That is the art. Not just giving them a program and hoping a program's only as good as it's implemented. A poor program implemented well is better than a good program implemented poorly. And I can't fucking say that enough. But so many people get in this industry and they've just got just be your fucking self. Have some personality. Fucking just sitting there not saying anything, because I just don't get it. The mind fucking boggles. And once again, look at Jeremy Borzillo. Came in as a fucking mute. Have a look at him. He's one of the perfect examples of someone who's an introvert, who's a fucking good coach with himself. Fair play, that motherfucker. Fair play. Chris Kranis, the opposite of Brick. That's how he is. Brilliant. And he learned off the king, me. And look at Dirk. And I must say, Dirk's built his own way he's done it. Good on him. But mate, love him. I miss him. It's hard. Like, man, it's been hard without Dirk, because it's like, he's great, Dirk. He's weird, but he's great. I mean, fuck, he's funny. He's a bit weird. He's Dirk. Sweet Dirk. But I just want to make this point very, very, very important. The ability to communicate and build rapport is something you need to learn now. And when you go to local level, you have to build that. And you've got to talk to different personalities and communicate in different ways to get the most out of them. Get them to work hard. Get them to work hard. If you can get players to work hard and smart and get them to rest when they rest, and when you say jump, they say how high. When you say sprint, you say how fast. They say how fast. When you say rest, they rest. That's the art. That's the one. That's what makes that's the difference between a great coach and an okay coach. Because you can have all this knowledge. This is why PhDs aren't the best coaches. Because one, they're fucking nerds, and no one gives a fuck about a study. I'm sorry. Keep bitching. Our industry is fucking stupid. We have people who fucking talk about the minute that doesn't even move the needle. But at the end of the fucking day, all I care about are results. We are results. Woodford is fucking results. So at the end of the day, if you're studying, and this is why PhDs, they talk about studies, all this shit, I do not give a fuck. Everything I read back at uni, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in the scientific literature, in my opinion, that's changed the big rocks of training over 100 years. Overload, individualize, specify. Place it well. There might be little bits and pieces, I get it. And research is important, I get it. But this is why the best coaches aren't PhDs. This is why some of the best coaches don't even have a degree. I mean, I think you got to have a base level of knowledge. Knowledge is important. I'm not saying it's not, but fuck. I think that you can't. I keep telling you this, man. One big thing, and I've told people this time and time again, my ability to get people to believe in themselves. I don't know how God's given me this gift. My ability to be, I love what I do. I'm passionate, and I can get the most out of people. And I don't know how. It's just I can literally do it with anyone. I have this, and the one thing that people ask me, what makes me different than anyone else, is my ability to educate people with my passion and get them to buy into what I'm saying. And then when I get them to buy in, they get adherence. When they get adherence, they're doing the program what I want 100%. If they do that, I get results. Now, let's say you can't do that with someone, you can't motivate someone. Do you think they're going to hear? No. Will they get results? No. So half the reason why I'm a good coach is my ability to get them people to buy into what I'm saying, and then them to hear 100% what I'm saying, and then they get results. But most people can't do that because most people are fucking boring as a fucking wall. There's so many people in this industry that should be fucking sports science and not coaches. Listen, if you're fucking boring, be sports science. Fuck off. Don't be a coach. Look at Jay Ellis. Brilliant. But both, because he's an idiot. I like him a lot. So anyway, long story short, learn the art, and that's what we're saying about local level. The good thing about local level is you can learn. The thing about local level, you make decisions. You don't put out kinds. You're actually learning on the job, and you're learning about the art, which the science can't tell you, which is, trust me, it's so funny. When you go in the real world, you're like, holy shit, these people freak out. The real world's what tell you the real thing. Learn to communicate, because that's what life's about. It's not about what you know as well, it's who you know.
I just wanted to ask what your thoughts are on agility/speed ladders. Do they actually help your speed and acceleration? I'm a basketball player.
Okay, so first of all, no. I'm just going to keep this short and fucking sweet. No. The only thing that they're good for, you know those agility days, they're not agility either. So if anything, it's predetermined path of movement. It's actually change direction, not agility. I think the only thing good there is just a general warm-up, increase high-frequency stimulation of the central nervous system, general warm-up, right? They don't improve acceleration because acceleration is about applying force in the ground, large force in the ground, longer ground contact times. What you're doing with fast feet ladders, you're moving around, feet around quickly. Have you seen that speed guy? He was doing on the stand, moving his feet real fucking quick like a fucking idiot. So that guy there, so you'd think people go, oh, all you're doing is moving your fucking feet fast, and your ground contact times are so short, you're not applying force to the ground, you're not projecting, you're not getting distance, you're not applying force. Remember Newton's third law, for every action there's an equal opposite reaction. The more force you can apply on the ground, the higher you're going to jump quick, you're going to run. So when it comes to, let's say, acceleration, you want to project in the ground, you want to push in the ground. You want to get distance, you want to get horizontal projection. And I think the thing about speed ladders is you're moving your feet real quick into the ground, real quick, choppy steps, but you're going nowhere fast. That's why I don't coach acceleration to be really quick steps early on. You want to push in the ground, you want longer ground contact, you want to project, you want to get distance. So that's why we always coach pushing the ground. Don't think short, choppy steps. Think progression, project into the ground. You want to think pushing the ground. Those speed ladders are useless for fucking acceleration. Acceleration is about applying force in the ground, longer ground contact times. That's not to say you're fucking going to stay in the ground long because you're still sprinting, but you still want to fucking push into the ground. You still want to create action-reaction, ground reaction forces to push in the ground to project horizontally. That's a big thing. But if you're just doing those speed ladders, you're just moving your feet around really quickly. You're just pitter-pattering around. You're moving your feet like a fuckwit and going nowhere fast. So that's the whole idea. You got to project. You got to apply force on the ground. And if not, if you're just really pushing your feet up and down really quickly into speed ladders, you're going to go nowhere fast. So don't think, when you accelerate, don't think quicker steps. Think pushing the ground, long ground contact, and really projecting. That answers my question. And also, if you do it, you look like a fuckwit. And also, people who do that, they're just it's just gimmicky. For me, you know what I think of gimmicks? What do I think of gimmicks, you guys? I fucking hate it. Fuck gimmicks. Fuck all that shit. Do the basics savagely. Nail the basics. Lift heavy, lift fast, lift for volume for hypertrophy to build cross-section area. Because we know a bigger muscle has a bigger muscle has the potential to be a powerful, more stronger muscle. Build load slowly. Use common sense. Allow rest, nutrition, hydration to super compensate and adapt, and then repeat. And then obviously add in your high velocity stuff in terms of jump sprints, throws, condition them, mobilize them, and then integrate with the sport. Who would have fucking thought? Keep it simple. Pretty good, eh? This is a good episode. Ask Woodford, new school. I don't know what episode. What episode are we in? Third or fourth, either one. Hey, either one. Anyway, this has been Old School Ask Woodford. I'm Chris Woodford, your host. Thanks as always, Donay and Kieran, the Queen, Rodley. I'm off.